Smith's story is a great one. I think your actions, you know, the patrol receives a lot of 911 calls. It's on the order of 7 million a year, and it's amazing what people call into the 911 center for. They call about traffic conditions. They want to know if it's snowing over the summit. They want to know what time the 49er game starts. I mean, they think 911 is some sort of major information outlet, and they clog up the lines. But sometimes people call in with a legitimate call, like you did, and it saves lives and makes a difference. So I'm going to go and read what happened here. So this is the CHP Commander's Certificate of Commendation awarded to Brenda Smith in recognition of exceptional performance. On October 16, 2013, while traveling east on I-80 near Red Top Road, you observed a tour bus that was unable to remain in the lane and braking unnecessarily. Fearing for the safety of the driver, possible passengers, and other vehicles on the roadway, you dialed 911. After relating the information, a CHP officer made an enforcement stop on the bus and contacted the driver. The officer determined the driver was not intoxicated, but did appear to be not fully capable of operating the vehicle safely. The officer called for an ambulance, and the driver was transported for medical condition. Turns out he was having a diabetic attack. So, the numerous passengers on the bus were eventually taken to their destination safely. You are being commended today for your keen observations and quick actions, which clearly saved the lives of many people that day.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's, you know, there's in the last couple of years, we've all seen those big stories about the buses that get in these wrecks, right? And there's been several in the last couple of years that I can think of, and they're just tragedies. And this is a case where, hey, even a bus driver, a professional bus driver, with all the training in the world, can suffer a medical condition. And you know, especially if you never experience someone that's going through a diabetic coma, or not coma, but a diabetic condition, they can exhibit the symptoms of being intoxicated. Almost you think they're drunk, and they don't, because their the blood sugar is so low, they lose their ability to think clearly, and they don't even realize that they're having problems. Does that sort of make sense? Just like a drunk person can't really assess how drunk they are.
I've seen that before in
Right.
yes.
So the fact that you took the time to call in, and that our officer was able to get there and effect a stop, saved many lives that day. And that's why you're here today, and we thank you for everything you did. So. Is there anything you wanted to say?
I spoke with Deanna, and she told me he had a medical condition, but I had no idea that, I didn't see, because I circled around to go back to see what happened, and I saw him standing out talking, explaining to the CHP officer that I didn't know he was having a diabetic situation. It just looked really weird to me, and I said, if that big bus had fallen, wrecked, it would have been a lot of people in the way, and I backed up and just observed, like you said. I had no idea it was that serious. I just thought maybe he was just not feeling good to do something.
You know, how many people would have just said, well, it's not my problem, right? I'm not going to call in, I'm not going to take the time, or I'll be on hold too long, I don't want to deal with it. But you didn't, you did the right thing and made a difference. And
wow, I'm happy for that. I had no idea. You didn't tell me it was that serious. It kind of got to me when you said that. I had no idea that he was taking away the ambulance. Because I went to see my daughter that day. She wasn't feeling good, so I was on my way to be with her, and when I observed the bus hit the brakes initially, which was a sign, either because nothing was in front of him, like that was the first trigger, and then I saw him weave a little bit until I said either texting, sleepy, or drunk. I don't know, with the big bus, and they asked me, CHP asked me, I thought 911 said, well, how any people on the bus? I said, I don't know, I can't see. She said, don't try to find out, just, just take it slow. So I just stayed back the entire time, and the response from CHP was really quick. They came right up behind him and observed for a few seconds or however long, I don't know, and then they pulled him over, and then it was a jerk from the bus, and I'm like, whoa, pulled him to the side. So I'm glad everybody turned out okay. So.
I doubt those people on the bus even realized how close they might have come to a real tragedy.
That's what we were talking about just a second ago. Why didn't they say anything? But I don't know who was on the bus, but oftentimes they're asleep, people are sleeping. What are you going to do? Go tell the bus driver you're not driving correctly? I don't know. Right. So it's up to other people to kind of take over and, call, an idea call. So my daughter calls me nosy. Or, but, things happen. So it's just an instinct. I didn't think it was right. So. Glad I
I'm
did.
glad you followed your instincts.
Yes, thank
So that incident really emphasizes, I think, for most people, the CHP can't be everywhere all the time, right? And the citizens, all citizens are our eyes on the road, and when you see something, call it in, and we'll get a unit in position, and we'll take action. And you made a huge difference that day. And I'm glad you're wearing your belt, because I tell my officers all the time, go out and write seatbelt tickets. I want people wearing their belts, because it's situations just like you had. So.